Okay, so we're live, and we have Pat from Sasquatch, S- Squatch Talk. Sorry,
Squatch Talk.
Sasquatch. We have Pat from Squatch Talk tonight, joining us. And sorry, we're in the middle of a conversation about who we're going to make a moderator because the last time we did this, we had like
Nazi
a serious
trolls.
assault of like, unsavory characters hitting our
actually.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. So I'm going to take care of that in a second. But anyway, we have Pat, and thanks for joining us, Pat.
Well, thanks for having me. I'm glad to be here, fresh from Sasquatch. Yeah, man, good to see you, Dave and Cornell.
Yeah, absolutely.
Glad to be here. How are you guys doing tonight?
Great. How's things over in your part of the country?
Well, pretty good. Nice weather. It's cooling off to like a good temperature, and so yeah, man, everything's nice down here in Georgia.
Yeah, it's hot here. It's going to be 80 degrees on a New Year's Eve here. Crazy.
Jeez. Wow.
Yeah, we're turning into the tropics in southeast
80
Oklahoma.
degrees? You're kidding me.
No, I'm not kidding. Tomorrow's going to be up in the 70s. This is the hottest December on record in Oklahoma since they've been keeping records.
Well,
holy shit.
So there.
All right. Hey, but that's good for Sasquatch there in the southeast Oklahoma area. Nice and comfortable this time of year.
Okay, so we got Cash.
Whatever. Go ahead. Sorry.
You'd stink a lot. We have Cashew as she's already a moderator. So Cashew, just keep your eye out, please, just in case. Sorry, my internet's like cutting in and out for some reason, so I'm missing a few things.
All right. Well, you've been here with us the whole time, so
yeah, it must be on my end. Sorry.
No, but you haven't dropped off, so it's all good.
Okay. So, Pat.
Yes.
You what amazes me about your channel is that you have a small subscriber base. I don't mean that in a bad way, but you have a small loyal following, right? I think you've got like half the subscribers that I do, and that's not a diss. I'm just saying I'm trying to make a comparison, but on your live streams, you get like 60 people on your live streams. I get like 20.
Yeah, I've jumped up to a new tier. It was like 30 to 50 for a while, and now it's jumped up to 50 to 70.
Yeah,
is the live stream range.
That's really good.
Yeah, it's
about
10%. It's about 10% of my sub base watching live. Yeah.
I wonder what that is because I think I have like 1,300 or something, but I get like 20 people, maybe 30. The most I ever got was Carrie Arnold. I think we had like 70 at one point, Dave.
I think so.
It was something like that. That's the highest I ever got, but I mean it's usually 20 to 30. So,
I've been seeing a lot of 70s lately. I've been seeing a lot of that hitting at the 70, man, and I'm like, wow. I don't even know what to do.
I've noticed that. I'll try to pop in when I see you're live there, Pat, and just say hi and hit a like. And you usually got a pretty good number, it looks like.
What is your secret, Pat?
Man, I don't know. Honesty? Maybe a little bit of production, I try and jazz the show up a little bit as you guys see when you watch me, but for the most part, it's just about good discussion with the right people, and somehow it works out. Like
I think it's likability, Pat. I think it's like
Maybe.
a lot of it's likability. Now, how long have you been doing this for? The whole YouTube thing. Not we'll get into the Bigfoot thing in a bit.
Yeah, I started Squatch Talk 4.5 years ago. And I had some time off in that time, so it's not like Squatch Talk has been here like it is now for that
Right.
whole time. I sort of rebooted it about a year ago, into what it is now, you know. But
Now, what was the
yeah.
reason for the lull?
Well, Squatch Talk started as sort of campfire discussion just with me and Ernie. My buddy Ernie, man, we played music together, along a couple of decades ago, and we became buddies, uh, and we would go camping, and we both got into the whole Bigfoot like thing, about around that time, early 2000s, and we would have these campfire discussions, and so I just one day I was like, "Hey, Ernie, man, we should take our campfire discussions to air and do a podcast, basically." And so we talked about that, and he agreed, and we started doing it, and we just kind of did it when we wanted to, you know, and we never had any live viewers. Like it wasn't a live viewer thing. It was about doing just doing it, and then it would be content, because back then it was Google Hangouts. There was no StreamYard.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah, so it was all audio. It was all audio, and so yeah, we did that, and so we did about, I don't know, 12 or 13 episodes, and some of those we had guests. About half of them we had guests, and then Ernie was just like, he was like, called me up one day. He was like, I really don't have anything else to say at this point, you
Right.
know. So I was like, without him, I didn't know what to do.
Right.
I didn't know how to move forward, because we were still in that Google Hangouts area. And I'm like, well, I'll keep it going maybe. And whatever, dude, like life happened. Happened. And so Squatch Talk kind of that's what happened then. And then, Squatch Talk just kind of laid there for a long time, actually. So
Dormant.
I started the channel 4.5 years ago. There's a good, 2.5 years of like dead space on the channel.
Well, Pat, apparently you have one thing that Cornell and I do not have, and that's groupies, according to a person over in chat there. So we are all Pat's groupies.
Oh wow, lucky bastard.
It's okay.
So
I'm used to it.
For
unrelated Squatch reasons.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
So Pat, did you ever have a Sasquatch experience of any kind, or sighting, or something that got you interested in it, or is it just the love of the mystery of it that got you interested?
No, I got interested before what could potentially be called an encounter. I've never seen one, so I'll just throw that out there right now. Never come face to face with one, but I had interest in it going all the way back to the In Search of days and the Patterson Gimlin film, and then lost interest in it through my teenage, young man, adult years. But then for whatever reason, I got interested in it again, because it was perplexing to me in my head. I was like, why in the world are people saying they're seeing these 8-foot tall monkey men in the woods. Like, why is that happening? And of course, I went back to the PG film, examined it again and again and again and again and again. And I'm like, man, I think that's something. Like, I think that's something. That does not look like a dude in a suit to me. And so, yeah, really, just trying to wrap my head around why people are seeing what they're seeing in the woods. That kind of drug me into the whole, getting into it more serious and looking into it. And so I've kind of been here ever since. It's been an evolution since then, since I got roped into the whole phenomena, basically.
Well, speaking of the PG film, did either of you guys see the show The Truth Is Out There last Friday night, where they done the new analysis?
I haven't seen that yet. No.
You saw it, Pat?
Yeah, I did.
What did you think of that analysis they did on that film? That really,
I gotta say that there's some things about it that bother me.
about the film or the analysis?
About that show, about the take on the show and the new analysis. So here's what I worry about. I've always worried about it, is that, like, we've gotten to the point where we can clean up the PG film, I think, about as best as it can be done. And what I fear is, and what I actually think might be happening, is if you keep trying to clean it up and you're using software,
adding stuff,
that software, digital programming, you are now in the territory of manipulating the film.
Yeah.
And that's what bothered me about it, is that this is real one-sided. I actually want to see some skeptics there, or some other professionals who are more objective, not just one video professional, editing professional,
Right.
whatever. I want to see 10 and their difference of opinions, because I think we're starting to manipulate the film. And if you're trying to extract specifics, and it could be manipulation of the film, that's not a good road to go down with the PG film, man.
Yeah.
Now, out of fairness, I do feel like this one was less of a manipulation than what we have seen in the past on the film. Because I've seen some of the supposed cleanup in the past that to me was borderline.
They're adding to it, right?
Adding to, manipulating to make it, like the facial features and stuff. There's somebody did it before that was actually bringing out facial features. And on this show last Friday, they were like, "Oh no, you really can't," because of that. It was intriguing, I'll say that. And the lady that Cornell can't get on this show, Cathy Strain, was one of the. She's the one that you tried to get on here, and she wouldn't until you bought her book or something. What was it?
No. She said that. I'm like, "Hey, how's it going? I heard I'd like to have you on my show. I heard you on Richter's channel, and I'd love to talk to you." And she said, "You heard from me from Richter's channel?" I'm like, yeah, Richter, yeah, good friend of yours. She's like, "Sorry, not interested."
Yeah.
I'm like, what do you mean? What's wrong? She's like, "You should really, research your guests and find out what their background is and read their books and stuff like that before you ask somebody on their show." And I'm like, "Well, yeah, I do that after, someone says yes. It's not like I'm going to have them on tomorrow. I'll take a couple of weeks and I'll research them and stuff. I might not read all of their books and shit, but I'll familiarize myself with them after they say yes. And she's like, "Oh, well, you shouldn't do it that way. Sorry."
Wow.
I'm like, "Okay."
So, Pat, I was watching your show here the other night. You had Dr. Jeff Meldrum on there. That's
That was a
that was
replay.
quite
That
a
was
show.
great.
That was a
Is
repeat.
that a replay? Okay.
Yeah, I actually that show happened back in April of this year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I wasn't able to do a show that night, but I wanted to throw something out there for my audience, and I picked up a lot of subscribers percentage wise since then. So I figured, hey man, there's a lot of people that they don't dig too deep in the channel. They just kind of go where they join, right? So I threw that out there as a, hey, I can't do the show tonight kind of thing. And that was a great show. I'm very, very proud of that show.
That was good.
Oh, you should be. Yeah.
I felt like I dealt with Meldrum in a way that most people don't, if that makes any sense. Just because sort of my background and who I am as Pat Turner, is that I always felt I could have a conversation with Meldrum in a different way than most people in the Bigfoot world, and I think that I think that came through in that show, and also the fact that I was able to get other people involved, and then so me and Meldrum, we have our conversation for a while, and then boom, I got the panel in there. They're able to ask their questions, and it turns into a like sort of roundtable discussion that Meldrum is sort of at the center at. That was my vision for the show, and I made it happen.
Worked well.
And yeah, I felt really good about it. So thanks guys.
It's funny, Pat, but you mentioned earlier, like you started the show and you're talking about, after a while, you don't know what else to talk about because you haven't had a sighting. And if I had to just like interview like Wes does, if I had to interview just like witness after witness after witness, I'd go mad. I want something different, I don't think I could do that unless I was raking it. Right. Unless I was raking in big bucks. I'm at the point where, I don't really know what to do because I haven't seen a Sasquatch. And maybe if I did, that would invigorate me. But I'm kind of searching for the truth. So I'm talking to people and talking to witnesses, researchers and stuff. And after a while, it's like, well, where do I go from here? I'm not getting any closer to the truth. Unless I see one, what else do I do? I can sit and talk about this all day long, but I've kind of like, I'm burnt out on just the subject. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm definitely burnt out on, all of the, critical thinking kind of stuff. I'm burnt out on that. I don't want to do that kind of crap anymore, but I want to find the truth. But if you live in an area that, unless I go to Oklahoma with Dave and stuff, and we actually have some credible interaction, from my apartment here in Massachusetts, unless I go on some kind of expedition, I don't really know what else to say. You know what I mean?
Sure.
You got to go out there. Like you said the other night, it's Bigfoot's not here. It's out there. It's out in the woods.
Right.
You got to get out there and like.
That's true.
Go deep.
It could be challenging, and I think for me going forward, from this point, because just to set this up, when me and Ernie started Squatch Talk, we just did it when we wanted to do it, right? So we might go 3 weeks without doing a show, or and then we come up with an idea for a topic and tackle it, or maybe get a guest and book them. We might go 3 weeks, we might go 2 weeks, we might go a month. I don't know, like something like that. It wasn't a scheduled thing. Now I'm on a schedule, so I've turned Squatch Talk into a scheduled show Tuesdays and Fridays, and so it could be a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
And now at this point, I think it's going to be even more pressure because I can't, after my sort of line in the sand of what I won't do anymore, like the areas I'm not going to go into anymore. I can't fall back on that.
Right.
You know what I
hear
mean?
you.
So, I can't do the 2-hour porcupine show.
Right. You want to go forward
Right.
with actual evidence instead of like
or
critical
ideas.
thinking.
Or ideas or tactics, so like last night's show was all about like, are they trapped in Florida? That was the
Right.
basic show.
That's
And it
interesting.
turned out great. It was so boom. But see, bam, I've done that. Maybe I could do a part 2 in the future. I don't know. So now it turns into, it does turn into like, how much more kind of angles are you going to come up with to keep up, 2 shows a week,
Right.
and the only
That's a
thing
tough one.
the only thing I really have to fall back on, to be honest with you, is to just go live and wing it, and just
And there's other,
bounce off chat.
Or get bullshitters on and just tell their stories.
No, I'm not gonna do
well,
that.
and
I know you're not.
Yeah. But no, I could just go live because I know I could do this. I've done it before. I could just go live and just bounce off chat.
Well, you seem to do that pretty well.
And yeah, I think so. I'm not trying to pat myself in the back, but yeah. But then again, I don't want to have to do that, 4 or 5 shows in a row either. So
Right,
it's becoming a real task to think forward and book an interesting guest or come up with an interesting topic and then mix in, hey, I'm just going to go for it. Bounce off chat live because people are going to show up and they'll bring stuff up and I can bounce off them. And then maybe some of my friends, will want to come in and opine. So I still have enough of a network to pull people from, so if we're gonna start talking tracking and Vaughn's available, he'll jump in and we could talk tracking, things like that.
But what about yourself? And I think you alluded to this, but what about yourself getting out there with the drone and doing your own stuff? Have you thought about that? I think you alluded to that in the last conversation.
Yeah, I have, man. And there's some things coming with that. So one of the first things coming to the channel, that actually like Brent kind of like inspired me about, is that I'm going to start dropping more drone content on the channel, just to like kind of show people, here's what drones are, here's what they could do, here's the cool cinematic helicopter shots, and things like that. And so that's the first thing I'm going to do. But beyond that, I mean, obviously my ultimate goal is to at least have possession of a thermal, like an advanced thermal drone, and be able to use that to actually, look for them and film them. And so that's my ultimate goal. In between, there's a lot of factors I can't control in that. There's some real good opportunities coming my way that I'm gonna be a part of. And I think one of the things I'm going to do, because I talked to Vaughn the other night, we had a little conversation, and where it ended up leading to was, I think I'm going to go out there and just and try and film during the day with my drone, the drone I have now.
So you have a drone.
Oh yeah,
Dave,
I
Dave,
just
if
don't.
we-
I don't have a thermal drone. I've got a
Right.
professional drone, but I don't have a thermal drone. There's no thermal capabilities.
Yeah, Dave, we could really use Pat in the Kamichi. Could you imagine if we got him in the campsite and he was able to like paddle the drone around like the ridge that we thought that they were in? That would be an awesome addition to the investigation. That would be fantastic. You've got a great skill. I wouldn't have a clue how to fly a drone. I know it's like people say it's like a video game,
Well,
but still.
Yeah,
Sorta.
I would lose it in the trees or something.
well,
I would totally lose it.
I would be lying if I said I never put my drone in a tree.
Right.
So, yeah.
A thermal drone, though, and I'm just trying to think of Dave and I in our campsite in the Kamichi, and if we could get a drone to go up onto that ridge, Dave, a thermal drone, and just look around, that's a money shot right there.
If the canopy's down, yes.
Well, it is. It's pretty open, Dave. Right? It's not too thick.
Depends on where you're at and what time of year it is.
Yeah, yeah.
When we were there, it was very early. Yeah, it was very early spring, and the leaves hadn't really started coming out much. But when it's if you look behind me at my background, that's what it looks like in during the summer. It's very
one.
thick.
And so that's the one drawback of the thermal drone is that it really isn't useful in the thick canopies like what's in your background.
It can't penetrate trees.
No, it cannot.
Okay.
No, it cannot.
Well, I think Cornell, you could do, you would have to like pilot it down the paths, pretty much.
And that's not a thing either. It's
right. So but like when you're looking behind me there, that's actually my background is a picture I took of the edge of the campsite where Cornell and myself and my son camped.
And I'm guessing that area right now looks a lot different. Is what I'm guessing.
A lot different. Actually, right now it would look a lot like the way it was when Cornell was down last March.
Right.
Yeah, it was pretty sparse.
Except for there's pine trees and stuff there too that stay green, but a lot of it's the hardwoods and such.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm dealing with the same thing here in North Georgia, so I get the canopy difference.
Mm-hmm.
So that is the thing about the thermal drone is that it has to be used in those months wherever the latitude is of how long those months are for a dropped canopy. So, but to that I say this: so what? It's still 10,000 times more powerful tool.
Right?
Who cares that I can only use it 4 to 6 months out of the year? Like, it's that powerful of a tool that actually doesn't matter. That summertime, it's kind of useless. I don't care.
Now, is there a technology? Isn't it LiDAR that can penetrate the canopy?
Yes, but
not available.
Not for a Bigfoot. LiDAR has zero use for a Bigfoot.
Why is that?
Because the way LiDAR works is that, yes, it can penetrate the canopy. It can even remove all the trees and show you the topography of the area you're looking at. It can't pick out a Bigfoot.
It can't pick out heat signatures?
No, it's not a heat signature thing.
Oh, okay.
It's a radar. It's more of a radar. That's why they call it LiDAR, is because it's in the radar family.
Oh.
And it all it does is capture one moment in time. Because really what it's used for is to strip away all the trees. It's great for surveying.
It's not live?
Yeah, so like if you want to build a neighborhood right here in this wooded area, right? You want to try and build a neighborhood, use LiDAR to strip everything away and look at the real-time topography in a very advanced way. That's what it's used for, So it's not. It only captures a moment in time.
I hear you.
Yeah,
So,
so
like-
it's not a Bigfoot tool. I don't care what anybody says. I'll debate. We can have a debate. You can bring them on right now. We can debate it. Like, it's not a Bigfoot tool at all. I've heard it mentioned many times in the Bigfoot world. A thermal drone is literally 10,000 times more powerful than a LiDAR drone.
Okay, some questions coming up here. I've been ignoring chat because I've been too busy
It's
talking.
okay. It's all right. So John, $10,000. $10,000 is an advanced thermal drone that civilians can get their hands on. All proprietary. You don't have to Frankenstein anything. It all in one package, right out of the box. A fantastic performing thermal platform.
$10,000.
10 grand. Yep.
Cornell, after the show, order one of those and bring it down to Oklahoma next time you come.
I'm already on Amazon looking it up.
Okay. Okay, Pat, about that is like on the television shows like Finding Bigfoot or whatever, where it's showing their thermal footage. What are they using?
Well, it depends on the show and what season and what year. So,
Okay. Everything looks gray, gray.
Yeah, some of those shows have used like crap, what I'll call crappy thermal technology, and some of the shows and some of the seasons have used advanced. So I'll give you an example of that. And this is just all production. This is all basically advertisement, and it means nothing towards Bigfoot. Finding Bigfoot, one of the seasons, it was one of the later seasons, in the last third of their run, partnered up with FLIR, and they got a FLIR to come out and bring an advanced system in a truck that's almost military grade stuff. This is stuff that we would have a hard time getting our hands on as civilians, right? Back then. And so the FLIR truck comes out, they park it up on the hill. It was just all for show, to show off the FLIR technology, advanced FLIR technology. There were no Bigfoot around. There was no chance of actually seeing a Bigfoot. It was almost like an ad, like a hidden ad placed in the show. But the technology was real, and they were showing off the technology. So, kind of like double-edged sword, but as far as like actually these TV shows, the nature of their production is not to find a Bigfoot. You'd be better off, like, I'd say chances are some YouTuber looking for Bigfoot would actually film one before, a major network production.
There's chat's getting pretty active, Cornell.
29 people. Oh my God, I'm a rock star.
So what is Bigfoot's real name? Somebody, Gary Johnson, said he was calling out Bigfoot's real name. Daryl.
I hate that stuff. I hate when people say, I hate when people on Facebook or like they post a photograph of Bigfoot and somebody's like, that looks like my mother-in-law. Oh, I think I need to take a break from Facebook.
Well, I never started Facebook, so I'm on permanent break. Gentleman over here on the side, Mr. Dickinson, said, I don't think it's a hominid. It's something completely different from what people think. And do you have an opinion, Mr. Dickinson, what you think it may be?
Yeah, you need to expand on that one.
Yeah.
I bet I could guess.
Don't be so esoteric. Share it with
Yeah,
us.
it's not biblical, and it's not from outer space.
Yeah, either outer space, but my first guess would be Nephilim.
Well,
If anybody's from outer space, it's us. We're the monsters. Do you ever hear that one? We're
We
the
live in
monsters.
outer
yeah,
space.
we are the monsters. That's for sure.
We live in outer space.
Well, yeah. So Cashew is Cashew's just promoting. She's the best moderator ever.
No kidding. Big thanks to Cashew. That's definitely.
So
Okay, Mr. Dickinson, I think it's something interdimensional. Okay. That's where he's coming from.
well, it could be. I mean, who knows?
Show me a testable definition of what interdimensional even is. And you have my attention. Otherwise, you don't.
Yeah, you got to back it up somehow.
Next.
Well, I mean, I don't want to discourage people from throwing their thoughts out there.
That's true. That's true.
Definitely. I mean, there are. I mean, I've have well, he's passed away, but one of my native friends was very much about them being an interdimensional or more of a spiritual type thing in his folklore. So yeah, there's a lot of different thoughts out there. We don't want to discourage people sharing those thoughts for sure. And exactly, Mr. Dixon, just my opinion, and that's just fine. That is just fine. We want to hear them.
Well, when it comes to Bigfoot, Mr. Dickinson, we're all just guessing. So nobody has the nobody.
I like that. Some people like rock, some people like hip hop. Yeah, rock's better.
Rock is definitely better. It's proven to be better.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think when talking about what Bigfoot is that an analogy of what like taste is a factor.
Well, I hear what you're saying too. Yeah.
Like
right.
It's if we're going to explore the phenomena, then a good starting point is to make the assumption that's undiscovered hominin, because their physical appearance matches that of a primate. So,
right, but their intelligence reflects that of a human.
Yeah, well, we are primates. We're primates. We're hominins. So I didn't go. I didn't go outside the range, actually.
And the thing about it is, I hate monkeys. I really don't like apes and monkeys. I don't like them.
I don't like.
Yeah.
I developed a hatred for baboons after that stupid video that came out.
For baboons?
You guys see that video?
No, I heard a story about them though. That some guy visited some Indian temple, him and his girlfriend, and they were just visiting, and 50 baboons surrounded them, and they just got out of there with their lives. Very. I don't like monkeys. I don't trust them.
No, there's a video.
Hey, what about?
Right, no, go ahead, Pat. I want to hear about this guy. I want to watch this.
There's a video that came out. I'm not sure if it's baboons or not. I could be wrong. Like attacking and killing 50 dogs. And I'm like,
that's not baboons.
Yeah, that just happened in India.
Okay.
All right. We need to kill every one of those monkeys. We need to eliminate that monkey species off the planet. Okay. That's how much I care.
They killed all those puppies out of revenge.
It's horrible.
Okay, y'all know that story though.
Yes, I don't know any story about it.
Okay, that is really a testament to the intelligence of those monkeys. I'm not defending what they're doing, but there were some dogs killed a baby monkey, and those are revenge killings. That's that troop of monkeys killing those dogs after the dogs killed an infant monkey. So that is a very tribal thing right there, and
that
is
is
revenge
telling.
killing.
I'll give you that.
Yeah, but what they're doing, and check this out, these monkeys are grabbing dogs, taking them up into a tree or a roof and throwing them off.
Yeah.
Yeah, they understand
But
that.
they were not killing any dogs until the dogs killed one of their infants.
I'm still on team dog though.
Me too.
Well, I love dogs. I love animals, period, you know. But what I'm saying is it's not just they just one day woke up and said, "Hey, let's go kill some dogs."
But chimps are pretty brutal, and they will hunt down, and like they don't just kill, they will torture and stuff like that.
Yeah, chimps, man, they are wow.
I hate chimps.
Those things will eat your face off.
Oh well, yeah,
they'll tear your balls off, bite your fingers off, and they'll torture you before they kill you.
They're strong. I mean, yeah, you can't fight them hand to hand.
I could.
No, not even a small one.
Yeah,
there was
a big haymaker to the side of the face. The Hanratty would take it out.
Yeah, there's a reason why every movie you've ever seen, famous movie that had a chimp in it, like it was I wouldn't even call it a juvenile.
It was beaten down.
It was they were young, extremely young. Maybe not babies. They're not babies, but they're not even juveniles yet. Like they're extremely young. Yeah.
Like the movie with Clint Eastwood.
Yeah.
What was that called?
Well, that was a orangutan, I believe.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, Every Which Way But Loose.
Right Turn, Clyde.
Yeah, that was an orangutan.
You're right. Yeah.
And that was probably a young orangutan too.
Yeah. I've never heard of them tearing people up. Have you, the orangutans?
I don't think so.
Pretty peaceful, aren't they?
I still don't like them.
And I'm not going to kick this bucket anymore, but I just want somebody to back up one of these statements like this with something. Somebody over here said the Sasquatch, part of the Nephilim hybrid soulless seed line ergo Sasquatches. Please, when you say something like that, back it up with something.
Who said that?
Peter Birdsall. Where would we come up with that being a Nephilim hybrid soulless seed line, and that being a Sasquatch? I know that's not to pick on that person, but that's kind of I don't know. I don't want to use the word fad, but it seems to be a popular rabbit hole that's within the Bigfoot community these days.
It's a belief. It's based on a belief system. That's it. It's just a belief.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. Like there's no evidence to back it up. There's no he said okay. He said just speculating.
Yeah. Yeah, well, and I've seen it. They're saying the Nephilim from Genesis chapter 6, but that doesn't fit the description at all. You know, the mighty men of old, the heroes of renown.
You know. Yeah. Dave, you got to remember, Dave is a scholar of theology.
Not so much, but I am I shouldn't throw this out. I am a licensed ordained minister, so I have been trained
there you
in
go,
that.
Baby.
Yeah.
I don't do that anymore, but
you have studied the Bible though.
But
you know what you're talking about.
I do have a background in it, so I mean I can talk about it with some authority.
But there's so much bullshit with Sasquatch because it's like it's something that we really don't know about, so people just add mystery on top of mystery.
And that's why, because it is such a mystery. And again, I don't want to discourage, it is. It's a fun mystery for sure. And it's like Pat was saying, what are these 8-foot monkey men that are out in the woods that people say they're seeing? You know, it's either real or it's the biggest mass illusion that the world's ever seen.
That's true.
You know,
which there would have to be an explanation for that. You know, like why are people hallucinating only in these kinds of areas and like all over the U.S. in those kinds of areas? But I say this, to me, there's a good starting point. Okay, they might be Nephilim. They might be from planet Heratron. Okay,
Heratron.
Airtron.
yeah, they might be.
I want
those
to live
things.
there.
But here's the thing: if it's done right and we approach it with a very serious intent that they are an undiscovered hominin, guess what? If that's done correctly, we can rule that out. And we can, at the end of the day, over a couple of years of trying the right way, go, they're not there. There's something going on here we don't understand.
That's
and so,
for sure.
therefore, you've
Right.
basically proven, if you do it right, you can actually prove that they're woo. There's something going on beyond our comprehension. And
Right.
that's my only point
And-
in any of that.
Here's what it comes down to. If something is one thing or another, it really doesn't matter what you believe it is. If it is, it is. But I'm going to say this to Peter Birdsall over there. I've been speaking to Leon from Bigfoot Okanagan a little bit, and he was wanting to put a show together and talk about the theological aspects that people are putting in this. And I've sent him an email and said, hey, I'm game for that whenever you want. So we may have a show where we tackle that. So Peter, keep your eyes out on that, and it may be right up your alley if we get onto that.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, I look forward to it.
I mean, I'll talk about just about anything except dog people chasing my car or something.
Dogman. Yeah, Dogman is...
Dog person, don't be such a sexist, Cornell.
Don't talk to me about kangaroos. I know what kangaroos are. I know what they look like.
Are we guilty of what the general populace are guilty of when they scoff at Bigfoot? No? Is it different?
Absolutely different.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
People have claimed to see these things.
Right.
What,
But
you talking about Dogman?
Yeah.
Well, it's a fairly new thing too. Brent brought up a really thanks, Chris. Just keep your eye open for it. If me and Leon can get together on a date, we'll throw that together. He was the one that actually brought it up first. I said, hey, I'll be game for it. And he sent me an email a couple of days ago and said, hey, keep me in mind for a podcast when you get an idea for it or whatever. But anyway, what was I thinking? They're saying
Dogman.
Oh,
Leon.
Brent on
Brent. Yeah.
The tall ones put up a deal about what if the Dogman was maybe because some of the native tribes would put on the headdress was the wolf's head, and to me that makes more sense. And I've always kind of skirted that issue before, saying if Dogman is real, that is not a viable biological possibility, which would place it squarely in the paranormal thing.
Right. Well, I mean, as far as the legs go, so not
the legs.
Yeah, not everybody that says they see a Dogman says that it was like a dog walking on two legs. They more describe it, shaped like a man below the neck, but more of a dog on above the neck, which kind of invokes a little bit like a werewolf thing,
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, actually I like Brent's take on that too,
and also misidentification. And that's something too. We've talked, and I mean, all of us that are interested in this have talked about people hoaxing things and such as that. But just because somebody sees something and they're wrong about what they see doesn't mean it's a hoax. There's misidentification a lot.
It does happen.
I've been in the woods with people and they see something and what is that? And I literally said, on which side of that cow over there are you talking about? And it was at a distance. It was a cow. Another time there was a burnt tree stump off in the distance somebody was seeing. And that, you know, we're talking people from the city not used to being in the country. They really believe that's what they were seeing. Could a bear on its hind legs with a snout? If you've got Dogman on the brain, you see that, you may, you know, misidentify a bear. And I think Brent addressed that as well. So there's the possibility for misidentification in a lot of ways.
Or crazy people living in the woods with friggin' wolf heads on them.
That brings us back around to Cornell's original point. Is like, does that put us in the same category of those skeptics that we might have to deal with about Bigfoot? And yes, it does. I embrace. I say, yeah, I'm Benjamin Radford when it comes to a Dogman. Show me the evidence, you know? Yeah. So in a weird way, it does. It puts me right in his seat or any other skeptic seat about Bigfoot. But I don't think that could be used against me because I can articulate a better argument for Bigfoot than I can Dogman. Like, you know what I mean?
Well, I will stick to my guns on the part that if that was something that was real, it would fall more in the paranormal because I don't see how that would be a viable biological entity.
Okay, so it's
all about the snout.
Beehive.
I'm sorry?
It's all about the snout.
That's right.
So maybe there is a variation of Bigfoot that has a snout in the same way.
Well, now that's a totally different thing, but I'm going with the literal name Dogman.
Yeah,
okay?
I know.
Yeah, there could very well be another variation of a Sasquatch. It may have more of a
like a baboon, like a baboon does. Like baboons have
snouts. That's a possibility.
So there's that, and I'll tell you, the one guy that I ever talked to about Dogman, he described it more like a lemur. He said it looked like a lemur. And that that actually got my attention. He didn't say it looked like a werewolf. He said it looked like a lemur.
That's a Bigfoot.
Well, there was a show the other night, the guy was talking, and I mean, he was talking about a werewolf. You know, some people are, you know, when they're talking about that. But
yeah, I think it gets too convoluted. Honestly, man, with the Dogman discussion, I think there's a lot of convoluted stuff there. You know?
I would agree with Peter on this, and I'm assuming he's talking about Dogman as an unsanctioned creation, a hybrid abomination. I would call a Dogman an abomination if there was something like that. To me, that would be a lot scarier than a Bigfoot,
right?
You know.
Okay,
wait a minute, Beehive, look over here. Pull this YouTube video, Walking with Jeff. It is on film for all to see, not any form of Bigfoot. They're a separate animal.
Oh, wait.
And I would like to see that. YouTube video, Walking with Jeff.
Well, I can't. Can I bring it up right now?
Yeah. Whatever.
Whatever.
I could. Hold on. Hold on. 1 second. Give me a second here.
It's recent.
Walking with Jeff is a film for all to see. It's only big. Okay. Just give me a second. Just keep talking. I'll try to bring it up.
And I don't know what this is. Sewell, 1967. The Beast of Seven Chutes appears to have a snout. Are you familiar with that, Pat?
No. Mm-hmm.
Walking with Jeff. There's a few of them. Hold on. Oh, I think I got it. Hold on 1 second. So I'll bring this up.
And I'm not. Go ahead.
I'll bring this video up.
I just don't. I look. I'm very focused and objective towards what I want to do when it comes to Bigfoot, and I'm not going to let all these other narratives convolute my brain. I just won't. I basically just not going to go there.
So what do we got here?
Do I have? Is it big enough? That's what she said.
Oh, I pulled it up bigger. Walking with, is Jeff a dog man, or is Jeff the one taking the pictures?
I don't know, but I'm going to watch it. I'm interested in this.
Where'd Pat go? I don't see Pat anymore.
I'm hidden behind.
This looks like Florida or something.
He's probably behind those palmettos there.
I'm hidden behind the comment.
Ah.
Okay, so what do we got here? I really can't see the comments because I'm watching the video.
Yeah, me too. I've blown it up. I can't see the comment, but I wanted to see what they were talking about. That looks like a good place to get snake bit.
Oh God, how long is this video? Jesus,
I don't know actually, buddy.
There's Brother Jeff.
Oh, there it is. There. Oh, that's a guy.
That's who you
That's
hear
not
right
the dog
there.
man.
You say, hey, Brother Jeff. Guys, we're about
No, this is
We're
like
about a
1
quarter
hour
of a
long.
mile.
God, it's a 1 hour video.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'd have
on
to.
the
We
tree.
need a.
that's where
We need a timestamp.
I had the
here.
encounter. I went to dig up a
So I can't.
Picture
I
of a.
can't bring that up.
Okay.
You got to give us a timestamp.
Yeah, the Beast of Seven Shoots was Suel said it's a picture of a creature taken in Seven Shoots Provincial Park, Quebec. So,
I got to get rid of this.
but yeah, on a video like that shows something, if you could give us a timestamp about where it would be, that would be very helpful.
Yeah, a 1 hour video. We can't really do that on the screen. Five head. That was
Five
scary.
head.
Yeah,
Five head.
yeah.
That was scary. Did you see that, Phil?
It's
I
just,
actually know Five Head. He doesn't live too far.
He's from
off
Oklahoma,
the-
right? Five head.
Oh yeah. I've met him a couple of times.
3320. Okay, do you want me to do it?
Yeah, why not?
Sure.
Go to 3320.
Okay, give me a second. Okay, just keep talking. I was at my friend's house one night, and his mother and father were having sex downstairs, and they were like making a ruckus, and it was really quiet. And he was like, "Keep talking, keep talking." I'm like, "Oh my god." We laughed about that for years.
I
Okay.
just, you know,
What was the timestamp again, Dave? 3320?
3320. Yep. There's Andy. Hey, Andy.
Okay, hold on. I've got it. Share screen. I'm sorry. I'm kind of a noob at this.
again, it just convolutes the objective real fast for me. It's like I honestly care nothing about Dogman.
I know, but let's
Not.
just have a look at it.
No, that's fine. I'm just
Don't be a
saying.
grudge.
Yeah.
Yeah, the idea of Bigfoot doesn't really scare me much. I mean, if I seen something with a dog's head, I would probably shoot while I was running.
That's what you would think, right? Again, escape kangaroos are a thing. Just saying.
It's not coming up for some reason. I'm sorry. I can't do it. It's not coming up.
Oh well, I'll look at it some other time.
Yeah, we'll look at it later. It's not coming up on screen. I don't have the share option for some reason. For whatever reason. Patrick Vaughn.
What if it's all paranormal and just presents itself differently to different people?
Well,
What
Patrick,
if it's all paranormal? Are you talking about all, including like Bigfoot and all of that stuff?
we got to get Patrick on, actually. He has a wealth of knowledge. I'd like to have him on.
Dude, if at any point I start discovering it's all paranormal, I'm out. I'm done. Bye. Channels.
That would just
like,
take it to a whole. That would just,
like,
to
yeah.
me, take it to a whole different level of interest.
Yeah,
Not
exactly.
me.
I become Christian.
Not me. I
thought you already were.
I don't mess with the potential
kind of.
supernatural,
To what?
paranormal.
If Bigfoot was found to be paranormal and there was an afterlife and stuff, then I would be totally secure in the fact that we went somewhere else after we died. So therefore, I would become religious. Yes.
Well, is it an afterlife, or is it, as your Buddhist friends would say, just a continuation of our life force into different forms?
Yeah, well, I'm more into the Buddhist stuff, definitely. Yeah, well, definitely. When I was a kid, when we were kids, we were very Christian and Catholic and stuff. So we believed in the paranormal. You know, we believed in ghosts and banshees and all this stuff, and that has never kind of left me. You know, I've always believed that there's something else out there, but I've never seen any evidence. Nothing. I've never had a paranormal experience, apart from that one time in band camp. I'll talk about that some other time.
I don't know, man. That's just not. Those aren't roads I go down.
Yeah.
And, like, why tempt fate? You know, if it turns out to be real, it's nothing but trouble. It's nothing you can ever define and understand.
Well, I think there's the thing of, like, if it take the paranormal, what could you do about it anyway?
Not engage with it.
But I'm
you
too
can do about
curious
it
for my own good.
Yeah, don't invite it into your life seems to be the theme of paranormal stuff. Like, if you invite it into your life, it will come into your life. Probably better not to do that, you know?
Yeah, probably good advice.
Yeah.
But doggone it, I'm just so inherently curious about everything that if I saw a ghost in my house, I would just have to try to communicate with it.
Perhaps.
We scared Cornell has scared him off. He just left.
If you saw a Bigfoot standing 10 feet in front of you, would you try and communicate with it?
I've never had that happen.
But I said, if.
Well, I don't know. I'm a firm believer in things like that. You don't know how you're going to act until it happens.
I would say the same with anything paranormal. Or if a ghost
maybe
would probably apply too. You might just piss your pants and run
well,
away.
it depends if it was a scary looking ghost or not. You know. I mean, if it just looked like a little kid or something standing there, I probably wouldn't be terrified.
That almost makes it more scarier to me in my mind.
If it was a big black form, like in some kind of satanic robe with glowing red eyes, yeah, that would probably be a bit scary.
I can tell you the last thing I want to see when I walk into my bedroom and it's dark is a little kid ghost standing there. Like, that's a Red One moment. Like, no, get out of here.
In the corner.
Chris Kimball, Chris, what says now the MVS Muskogee name for ape is big raccoon person. Fivehead had said their name for in Comanche, I believe, is Pia Moopit, is what they call the Sasquatch in that language. If he's still on there, maybe correct me if I'm wrong. I think it was Pia Moopit, which actually that's the name they use for Sasquatch, but I believe it translates into big owl or big owl person or something like that. But we was down around Lawton, me and my wife here a few weeks ago in that area, and they actually had a T-shirt in one of the T-shirt shops with Pia Mupit on it, with a picture of a Sasquatch on the T-shirt.
Someone just sent me a photograph of
Yeah,
Sasquatch.
here it is. 5 hits at Pia Mupit's large owl or great owl. And that's described, but that's the name they give to the Sasquatch. 5 hit is that is Comanche, correct? Make sure I'm getting the right right tribe there. Where I live, I'm right in the, yes, Comanche. Where I live, my part of the state, I'm sitting right on the Creek, Choctaw, Seminole, and Chickasaw nations here.
So I've just been sent a photograph of Sasquatch. I'm
Okay,
trying to bring it
can you
up.
put it up?
Yeah, I'm going to bring it up. It's Todd Sears. I can see one of them. He said there's 2 of them. Let me bring up my messenger. This might be interesting. If you guys can see it, let me know.
Pat needs red circles.
Yeah, please provide a red circle.
You're so demanding, Pat.
Sorry. and oh, by the way, I didn't get my green M&Ms backstage like I requested. So
hold on. How do I make this bigger? I've got the picture up, but it's like tiny.
That's what she said.
Let me see. Hold on. Okay, I'm going to download it. I'm going to download it, and then I'll enlarge it. That's what she said. Download documents. Okay, 1 second, guys. Just keep talking. I'm just going to keep doing my thing.
Check 1 2. Check 1 2.
This is like right, Pat. This is like being in the band.
Pat, what type of character did you play on The Walking Dead? You were on that show.
I was a walker.
You were a zombie.
Yes.
Did you eat anybody?
Yes.
Did you get to bite anyone?
I didn't get to bite anyone on camera. But I did get a lot of attack scenes. So that was cool. That was fun. And I got killed 100 times. I got killed.
Did you even get to say brains or anything like that?
No,
what is that?
They didn't speak. They didn't speak words.
Brains.
The one on my left does look like a face.
I see it. No.
That looks like.
It could be pareidolia. I'm not downplaying your submission here, but I can see a face like on the left, maybe with a mouth and an eye, but on the right I can't see anything. Maybe it's the resolution that I had to resort to.
I see the other face on the right, and it's like, nah.
Yeah.
Show me a video. Show me a video of that and do it, and then get that video 2 or 3 more times.
Yeah, man. We're not discounting what you sent us, like, because we're not doing that anymore. But
inconclusive. I'll always.
I can't see it. I definitely can't see it, but that doesn't mean it's not there, right?
That's true.
Maybe you got a picture of Sasquatch. I can't tell because it's inconclusive.
It's too hard to tell. That's all.
Yeah. So the game needs to be upped, photography and videography wise.
Yeah,
1,000. That kind of stuff. And yeah, I'm not talking crap. I'm just saying in general.
I hear you, Pat.
Principle wise, it's my principle. It has to be leveled up. Way higher bar, and so I will still stick to that principle. So sorry, dude.
I hear what you're saying.
Maybe you got a Sasquatch, maybe you didn't. I can't tell.
Yes, it's too hard to define. Yeah, it's too hard. I mean,
well, the person that's Cornell, the person that sent you the picture, was that their picture or a picture that they found secondhand? Did they say?
I don't know. Todd, could you maybe answer that in the chat? I don't know. He's saying that it was dark and hard to change color texture to bring something out. It's a still pic of a video.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So maybe he could enlighten us.
All right.
We're not here
All right.
to debunk everything. We just want to know.
No. I'll throw this out there. All right, dude. Send the video to somebody. I don't care whoever you think's a professional enough to examine it. Also provide the metadata and be willing to be 100% transparent with the evidence you're providing. And then we can talk. We can look at it. We can vet it.
Doug Highcheck is a really good idea.
Those are the things that you have to do. And yeah, you send that video to any three of us here, then we can.
Why? Don't send it to me. I have no.
All right,
no
you
idea.
send it to me. primateobjective@gmail.com, and I will send it to Doug and send the metadata. Send every bit of metadata, where and when, all the information, and we'll vet it. Fair enough? I think that's fair.
If you have a video, Todd, just send it.
Yeah.
To who?
primateobjective@gmail.com.
Yeah, then Pat will send it on to the appropriate parties. This is what it's all about these days. It's not about like shitting on everybody. It's about like trying to get good evidence and stuff.
Yes.
And I think that Pat explained that the other night.
And,
He's not
and, you
going to
know,
just like,
and wouldn't it be frustrating if you were the one there, you had seen the Sasquatch, knew that's what it was, but your video
it's strange land.
was not that.
I agree.
Definitive.
And that's why
that would
I
be
say
very frustrating.
That's
Pat,
why I say that frustration should lead to, people are willing to look into it as deep as they can.
Mm-hmm.
Then they should be willing to provide all that information.
So Pat, listen. He said he already sent you some video on Facebook and you ignored his chat. This is strange land. It's strange land. He sent you something already. Yeah, that's what he said. So look in your chat for strange land, and he sent you some stuff already, and he said you didn't reply.
Maybe not. Maybe I missed it. Maybe I didn't.
He might have missed it, strange land, and we all love you here. Strange land's cool. Actually, strange land, you're up in what do you call it? What the hell do you call that island off Canada? Newfoundland.
Way up there, Newfoundland.
Yeah, I heard a couple of crazy stories.
Man, that really is a far north there, isn't it?
Yeah, I heard a couple of crazy stories.
Mm-hmm.
When I hear Canadian island, I think Vancouver.
Right.
Okay,
yeah, Newfoundland's up there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's where the Irish and stuff first went, and the Vikings and shit, right? So that's got a lot of history behind it.
Hey, Mr. Dickinson. Hey, Mr. Dickinson's from Finland.
Oh wow, you guys kicked the Russians' asses.
Wow.
The Finnish are hard people. I
Your
did
first name's not
Finland one time.
Your first name's not Bruce, is it? Vitu Perkilis. I don't know what language. Vitu Perkilis Satana.
Huh. Sounds like
translate
some kind of satanic. Don't say it, Dave. Don't say it because you'll probably
don't say it. You might conjure something up. Stop it.
Yeah. Hey, I've got a friend here that believes if you say Dogman out loud that it's bad luck. So I don't say Dogman anymore. I have to say Dogman. I do not say Dogman any more than Dogman is completely necessary to say.
A lot of the native tribes don't talk about the Skinwalker because they don't want to talk about it. And Troy Hudson talked
Yeah,
about
I'm
that.
not. Yeah, I don't have any knowledge. The closest thing I don't know if this falls into the same category, but some of the tribes around here talk about a something called a Stagini, which, from what I understand, is a tribal shaman that can shapeshift into the form of an owl.
It's probably
And
all bollocks.
well, I mean, that's part of their folklore, legend, whatever's
But it was probably
around
all
my area here, this
it's
county.
probably all like Christianity, where it was a form of control to like keep control
I
of the
don't
poor
know.
people.
I'm not sure.
Birdman.
To get chicks and get money off the poor people, right?
Right.
Like cults. I think that's probably a lot of what that is. I'm not like talking. I'm not like talking down to the native peoples and stuff, but they're no different than the Westerners that have cults.
Is
Cashew.
that a direct translation? Cashew Vitu Perkele Satana, effing the fake Satan. Is that a translation? I think she's having. I think she's just having fun with it.
Oh, she's just dicking with this.
Yeah,
but that is neat, man. We got somebody all the way from Finland here.
She's too
cool.
smart for us. Oh yeah, I've got fans all over.
Hey, if Dogman will kill you on the spot, Gary, he's not very good at it. So I don't know anybody that's been killed.
Well, we don't know that because all these people that go missing could be victims of Dogman.
Well, that's connecting some dots.
You never know.
You never know unless the evidence for it ever shows up.
Okay,
and
here we go.
You know.
Hey, something of interest. Perkele is a Finnish undergod that rules the death, much like the Greeks. That's from Mr. Dickinson over here. So yeah, I learned something tonight. Perkele is a Finnish undergod.
Nice.
I learn something every time I go on this. Okay.
Cool.
Anyway, is the translation. I used effing instead of the literal F word. Oh, it is the literal translation, Cashew. How about that? Should I used effing instead of the literal F word?
I'm going to bring up a video here. 1 second.
Okay.
Just keep talking until I get this shit figured out. I don't know what's in the video, but I was told to play it.
Awesome. Go for it.
Might be some guy with his ass.
Yeah, you might get Peter bombed.
You had that one time, right?
Yeah, you might want to look at it off screen first.
No, it's Strangeland, so he's cool.
Oh, okay. Unless he's mad at you or something.
No, he's cool. He likes me.
Man.
Okay, hold on. 1 second.
Pop the video on I sent you.
Just keep talking, guys. It's going to take me a minute.
Well,
sure.
So,
let's talk.
Talk about music.
Anybody?
Talk about
that's
music history.
But that would. So what? I get like 20 seconds to talk about my music history.
No, you can keep talking. I'll not bring it.
Now you're a professional drummer, right?
Yes, I was. Yeah.
So do you play any other instruments besides drums?
Yeah, I do. I play guitar too. At one point I did transition into a songwriter. And I could play some keys. Like I don't explore that enough. And hell, I don't even play guitar as much as I should. But yeah. But yeah, my bread and butter was drums.
You still play?
I don't play drums. I haven't played drums in
a
few years, several years. And I don't pick up the guitar and even mess around with it as much as I should.
Do it, man.
Yeah,
I
just
I didn't play for a lot. I didn't play for gosh, 15 years or more.
I
And
play
then
every day.
in 2019, I put the guitar back on and threw a band together, and we played over spring and summer, and then quit. My son played his first time live with us. That was really cool. We did a Black Sabbath tribute, and it was a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I bet that was fun. I don't know. I just I get
Here
in
it
and out of
comes.
it.
No, that's not the right one. Hold on. For some reason, it's not coming up the way I want it to.
You know, that face over to the left almost looks like a gray alien or something.
No, this is I don't know why I can't bring it up.
No, I mean, I get what's going on in that picture.
Not this one. I want to
Yeah,
show
I'm
you guys
just
something
saying
else.
you have it up. I get what's going on there, but yeah,
Fuck.
we need more. We need more information.
No, it's not this one. No, he sent me something else.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, wow. There's a Strangeland plays Boudron, mandolin, and Irish bouzouki.
Share screen. Oh, here we go. Here we go.
All right.
You see it?
Yeah, I see the little
Yeah, it's
wheel
up.
turning. There we go.
So let me just play this. I really don't know. Let me just where's any audio? Here we go. Enlarge your screens if you can.
Yep. And what are we looking for?
I don't know.
Well, I see a house. Looks like there's a house right there. Power lines.
I don't see anything yet.
How long is the video?
I'm not sure.
I think it was like 120, 121.
I want to see something running across the road with.
Oh, there it
we go.
is.
Oh,
There
there's
it
the
is.
red.
What's that?
Is the
That
red
was a
circle?
giant finger.
Oh, is it that light?
Surely that's not what they're talking about. Is this supposed to be a Bigfoot thing, or is this a
No,
paranormal
Dogman.
thing?
I think Dogman.
Oh, well,
Yeah, I don't know what this is.
Yeah, I can't see Strangeland.
yeah. If it's very long, we need a timestamp to know what we're. Because I mean, I certainly can't.
It's
see.
121, so it should be over pretty soon. Let's just give him a second. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not seeing anything.
Well, all I saw was lights moving around. That's it.
That's on the edge of the house. Whose finger is that?
But they moved. I mean, the lights did move. They changed.
Were they talking about the lights? Is that what they're talking about?
Well, that's the only movement I saw in that video was the lights moving around.
The light had no light behind it. No, it's
They
on a
changed
Dogman.
position. Yeah.
Yeah, so there we go. It's hard for people that weren't there to like figure it out, and come to a conclusion. That's the whole problem with this whole entire
but
phenomena.
Again, if you're going to introduce it as what is this evidence? Is this supposed to be evidence of what? We have 1,000 questions. That's, it's not just about popping it up on a show and going, oh, like, no, man. If you think you have evidence, Strangeland, you're going to have to answer 1,000 questions. Sorry. That is the new bar for vetting.
That is a live video feed. It needs to be up close.
Yeah. I'll have a closer look at it.
Show them the one with the leg coming out of the portal.
Huh? What?
What?
Oh, Paulie said, Todd, show him the one with the leg coming out of the portal thing.
Oh God. No, don't. Just don't. Don't do it, Cornell.
Okay, so let's talk about your musical history. So you were a drummer in what kind of a band were you in, Pat?
And mostly rock and pop, or rock pop, either rock or pop or rock pop.
Like what kind of songs?
Man, I mean, there's some diversity there. I mean, it was, I've done like punk pop, rock pop.
All original?
Oh yeah, these were all original bands. Now, I mean, I played covers along the way, but mostly original. Yep.
So why don't you get back into it again?
Because I'm done with the music business. Like, I'm not interested in being a musician anymore, honestly.
You'd rather do Sasquatch?
I wouldn't say that. It's not.
I'd rather do music.
It's not a replacement for it. Although there are some parallels. I'll grant you that. Being able to
Pine Island Research.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Talking crap, Jeff.
Drummers always, from what I know, they always got the best chicks.
It happened. I had all kinds of cool experiences along the way. Some of them involved beautiful women, yes, but yeah, I don't do it anymore just because, I mean, I lost interest. There's no, so the passion kind of died for it. Yeah. And I got passionate about other things.
My father still drums for,
he
played with Van Morrison, my father, and he drums for an Eagles tribute band right now, and he makes big bucks.
Wow.
Yeah, the tribute band.
Is Van Morrison still a band, Cornell?
I don't know if they're still going. Well, Van Morrison's still alive, I think. He's from Belfast. But my father did, when Van Morrison made it big in '66 in America, they came back to Ireland because they were all bitchy at each other. And they lost their drummer, and my father stood in for the Irish tour in '66. And my dad's played drums ever since. He's like level 10 drummer, He's a very good drummer. And if it wasn't for the alcohol, he'd probably be a star, that kind of thing. But he just drank too much, and he fucked every opportunity up that he ever had. I think that's the way it goes. I'm not sure.
And I'll say this as a musician, the biggest problem with bands is their biggest failing is they're made up of musicians.
Right. Yeah, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, I would love to join a band right now, but it's so much. I would love to play guitar for a band, or a bass even, but it's so much work. I mean, just turning up to the practice space and getting along with the guys that are there, and getting, it's like at this age, it's just so much damn work. You know, it's
And that's the thing, man.
Yeah.
Having a band together, man, that's a tough one, especially if you have another job and stuff. Getting everybody
yeah.
lined out to make practices and then gigs and stuff. It's if you don't have the passion to just do
I'll
it,
pass.
it's just a burden.
I'll pass.
Yeah, right. I hear you, Pat.
I'll throw something together once in a while, and as long as it's fun, we'll do it. And then when it's not fun, we just quit. You know.
I think what I learned out of being in bands for all that time is that, exactly. It's the other individuals, and you're trying to do this collective thing, but you're dealing with other individuals, and that's tough enough. And where's the leadership? And if it's, I say this, if it's not an actual manager that knows what the hell they're doing in the entertainment world,
Yeah.
the leadership's not there. It's not good. It might be good on some level, but you're never going to hit that next cog. So
we had this amazing.
Here's a good challenge here from one of our chats. And let's see one of your videos, Pat. Surely you would have very clear evidence yourself being as skeptical of others as you are.
Why does that have to be a thing?
Yeah,
why,
I know.
I mean,
I
why
never
is
understood that.
I'm sorry. Why does that have to be the bar? Or, I'm sorry.
What do you
I'm
mean?
sorry. I'm sorry. Please let me speak. Please let me speak.
Sure.
Why does it have to be the bar that, well, I have great evidence, therefore that puts me in the position that I'm allowed to judge things that I see in this world as truthful or as relevant or as conclusive or inconclusive. So where is your mind? Why do you have to put your mind that that's how reality works, that only people that have great evidence can judge anything in this world? That's not how the world works. That's not reality. We all can judge, and we all judge every day. When you go to the grocery store, you're judging 1,000 things that you don't even realize you're judging. Judgment is a part of being a human being. Now, I never said, Strangeland, you're full of crap. Did I ever say that? Did I criticize him? Did I say, Strangeland, you're full of crap. I'm going to tear you apart. I'm going to trash you and bash you. I never said that. All I said is, it's not conclusive to me. And it's not conclusive to the people I know who I trust and can say that in their behalf. And I'm sorry, was it on Fox 5 News last night? Did the world just come to a understanding that because of this footage, Bigfoot exists? Did that happen and I missed it somehow? I am not being a hypocrite. Tell me where I am contradicting myself. Tell me. I only have one position. It's not conclusive. And that's my opinion. And maybe other people have different opinions.
Yeah, not conclusive doesn't mean that's not what it is. That just means that you don't necessarily see it yourself.
Yeah. And probably means a lot of others don't, and maybe some do. But that's, I call the balls and strikes like I see them. And it's like, I'm trying to raise the bar into the absolute conclusive observations. That's my mission when it comes to Bigfoot, this phenomenon. Actual observations, not short clips, not, blob squatch, if you will, or pareidolia, or anything like that. I'm trying to raise the bar, and my bar is raised. So that's where I come from with my opinions, is from a raised bar of my own standards.
Pat doesn't have any evidence. Neither we're having talk like conversations about Sasquatch, but he's still allowed to be critical about what he sees. I think we can all agree on that, right?
Well, we should be critical of
Not about
whatever to a
evidence.
point.
It's about
Yeah,
standard.
healthy skepticism.
Yeah, just because you don't have any evidence, like I have no evidence whatsoever. I have never seen anything paranormal, never mind Bigfoot, but I can still have an opinion. You know
Yeah,
what I
no,
mean?
that's
Right,
yeah. I
right.
just addressed all that. I
Right.
just
Okay.
addressed
I'm
all
sorry.
that.
I wasn't
That's
here.
you know the whole argument of, well, where's your evidence? That's simple thinking.
Yeah.
That's just simple thinking. That's not a well thought out question. It's not about evidence. It's about a standard that I hold myself to. Therefore, I'm going to hold everybody else to it. Fair enough?
I would expect the same, Pat. If I sent you a picture or something, I would hope you'd give me an honest opinion of it.
I
I
will.
was sent. I was sent a couple of
and-
pictures.
And I would hope I would not be offended by that.
I was
The
sent a
only
couple of
reason, the only
pictures.
way I would is if I gave Pat an opinion or a picture and he said it wasn't real and then he called me stupid or something, I may be
Right.
offended. But other than that, no.
I wouldn't do
Um,
that. That's not
I
what
know
I'm
you
here to
wouldn't.
do. I'm not here to judge people on levels of intelligence. I'm just trying to raise the standard, and all I'm saying is my standard is up here, and I expect like everyone else's to be the same. Like if you can't meet my standard where I put my own standard at personally of what I want to get as evidence, then everything is up for consideration and vetting. And some things can be
Right.
dismissed offhand. I'm sorry. Some things I can look at and go, nah,
Well,
nah.
can I say something for a second? I had a couple of pictures sent to me from a friend on Facebook, and they were like Bigfoot in the trees, and they look pretty compelling. So I spoke to Jeff Harding, and I'm like, what do you think of these? Or I don't know if that's how it went. I think that I don't know how it went, but he was like, don't release those. Let me send it to Doug Highcheck to see if there's any manipulation going on, because he's really good at Photoshop and stuff. So I'm like, yeah, sure, send it to him. And he sent the photographs, and he was like, no, these have been manipulated by someone on Photoshop. I don't know where they came from, but the consensus was that these were manipulated photographs, and I didn't get pissed or anything. And I'm like, whoa, thank you, dude. I'm glad you said that. I didn't want to, run with these and say that they were real. I was glad that he went out there and, vetted these photographs, and, that's the way I work.
Chris made a good point there. Bigfoot and religion are cut from the same cloth, and they can be, as Leon put it, they can become a cherished belief.
I put it.
Then become,
those are my words,
was
not
that
his.
you? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I heard Leon say it to me, and he was quoting you then.
Yeah.
So
I'm
so
the
we
one
give-
that
we give Pat
introduced
the
the
credit for
cherished
that.
belief vernacular.
Let's not get into the weeds here of like Bigfoot evidence and like start calling people out. I don't really
But
want
this is not Bigfoot here, but Mr. Dickinson's made a lot of references to the Pentagon's UFO release stuff that came up. That's
the
something
DoD
very fascinating
stuff,
to me.
Mhm.
That's very fascinating to me.
Mhm.
I was hoping for more
It is
of
to
a
me
more
too,
of a
actually. Yeah.
release, but that Mr. Dickinson, that is something that my level of knowledge in that field is not what I would like it to be, but that's very fascinating to me as well.
It is to me as well. Like for the DoD to release that footage from those those gimbals, those F-18 gimbals, and to say they don't, and to say they don't know what it is was pretty incredible, right? Like I know the UFO community went nuts. They kind of had a celebration, if you will, over that, right? And it is kind of odd. Now, what's going on there? I don't know. We definitely have some really good footage of pilots, in a modern day, aircraft that they can swing those HUDs around pretty quick, getting out juked by something we can't tell what it is, So that it's interesting stuff, Now is that technology?
Yeah, it is.
Are they being screwed with by our own like deeper military, or like being tested out in some way, or is it something else?
If they are, we got.
Understand? I don't know.
If they are being tested by our deeper military, we got some really neat stuff. That's all I can say.
All I can tell you is this: is that all of the areas that that footage came from, like even off the East Coast and off the West Coast, both those areas were in military operating zones. For whatever that's worth.
I might start a UFO channel, actually.
I might join you. I'm thinking
I'll
jump in.
Yeah.
I think more fascinating than Bigfoot. It's like most people believe in UFOs, and you might have more of a pool of people that are willing to come forward and give. I mean, there's so much resources there. I'm thinking of doing it.
It's a fascinating subject. I think it's a
people are so
fascinating
pissed off at
subject
each other.
Yeah, it's a subject that I could talk about, and I think in a much different way than Bigfoot. Actually,
let's do it.
Yeah, I mean,
I've had a couple of UFO people on my channel, and it was fascinating. And this Bigfoot thing, where people are arguing back and forth about, is it a friggin' Nephilim? Is it interdimensional? Is it a monkey? I'm kind of getting sick of it. And, I guess maybe it's the same on the UFO side too. They're probably like, are they angels? Are they, interdimensional travelers? It's probably the same thing, but I would like to try something new.
Well, it's any mystery, whether it be Bigfoot or UFO, you're going to get a wide range of points of view concerning it. I'll agree or disagree. I don't get offended. I'm interested in hearing what other people have to say about it.
Never.
The UFO thing, that's with the Pentagon finally coming out, and a lot of the things that just a few years ago they say, no, that's not real. This guy never worked for us. He was never in the. Well, yeah, he was, and yeah, he did do what he said. What's the guy's name, Pat? I'm talking about
Bob Lazar.
Bob Lazar.
No. The one that actually worked at the Pentagon. Is it Lou Elizondo, or is that it? Lou Elizondo?
I'm not sure about that.
I don't know.
But I mean, and it's came out.
You mean the Navy commander?
No, the guy that's from inside that worked at one part of the Pentagon that was recently. Not the pilots, the guy that I think it's Lou Elizondo.
The Canadian guy.
Is the name that's coming to mind.
I don't know. I could look into that.
No. He's an American guy, but no, he was the one that somebody in chat help us out. Lou Elizondo, cashew.
She's so
he
smart.
Actually worked for something. I'm not using the right words. For a part in the Pentagon, that's what they did, was investigate this aerial phenomenon. And when he first started leaking this stuff, they said, no, the guy didn't work here, never worked here, blah, blah, blah. And now it's like, well, yeah, he did. and he does have permission to go public with this stuff now. But he says that he's still under orders not to talk about some of it. He can only talk about what they're allowing to be leaked. So yeah, it's fascinating, you know.
It's very fascinating. Well, I told my daughter the other night when she's looking at the stars, and I'm like, all of the stars are a sun, and
Or
probably, well, yeah, some of them are planets, but most of them are stars.
Yeah,
and I'm like, and every one of those stars might have 5, on average, planets around them, and there's billions and billions and billions of stars, and I'm like, so how many stars does that, or how many planets does that mean there are? And that's all we can see. So it goes on forever. So
well, okay,
the UFO thing is.
We'll look at it this way: us three, we're roughly about the same age, all three of us.
I'm much younger.
But up until like the early 90s, we're not able to actually see any planets outside of our solar system.
No.
We knew they were there, but we didn't have, we hadn't seen them. Now we're discovering planets almost on a weekly basis. It's in the Goldilocks zone of their star system.
Yeah.
So I go back.
That does happen. Yeah. I mean, we are discovering more and more. We don't know a lot about those planets.
Yeah, we do. What's the star system, Dave, that has a sun that has like 7 Earth-like planets around it that could harbor life? They just discovered one, and there's like 7 planets in the Goldilocks zone around one star, and they're like, this could harbor life.
Then it goes back to how old is that star system as compared to ours, and how much older than or younger than our Earth would that be? And would life have evolved farther past us, or would they have blown themselves up back to their Stone Age before they got to that point, like we're always in danger of doing?
What's that theory, the thingy theory? The
thingy theory?
Yeah, the thingy theory, where when humans or civilization got this far and they discovered nuclear technology, that they would just blow themselves up eventually. So we would only get so far. The para something theory.
I can't remember. Paradoxal theory.
I can't remember what you call it.
Well, that would be a paradox.
This was discussed at length on Joe Rogan, that kind of stuff.
But I will say this: I've done a lot of my homework on the Bigfoot subject. Before I did a UFO show, I'd have to do a lot of homework.
But if you got to meet these people, you would get up to speed pretty quick. If you immersed yourself in that world, in the YouTube world, just like we're doing right now, you would get up to speed pretty quick, and you would develop a community. And sometimes I think that, not that I'm going to leave the Bigfoot community, but I would like to delve into other communities to see what they're talking about, and talk to them, and learn from them, and do shows on it. Like Pat and I did with the true crime community a few weeks ago. That was fascinating, Pat, right? I got 60 subscribers from that show.
Yeah, that was a great conversation. I look forward to talking with Josh again.
Yeah, Josh. And I had him on my show talking about the Matty McCann and the West Memphis 3. And you got to go outside the Bigfoot community sometimes and just, talk about other stuff. It's fun. But obviously, that's why I called my channel No Such Thing, because I didn't want it to be just Bigfoot. I wanted to expand.
Right, and that's brilliant, actually. Yeah.
And that's why I called mine Bigfoot and More, just in case I wanted to do anything more.
Right.
So,
yeah.
But, on the UFO thing about whether they're visiting us, I kind of subscribe to my own about, like on Star Trek, the Prime Directive, where the more advanced species would just kind of hang back and observe. I mean, seriously, if you were a spacefaring species, if you will, that had evolved past the need to kill each other for whatever reason, would you want to give us the technology to get out there and be among them? We would destroy and sell everything for a profit we could get a hold of. We would be the Klingons.
Yeah, we're barbarians.
Yeah.
I think we're on
galactic
I think
terms.
we're probably on like an intergalactic quarantine until we grow the heck up a little bit.
Well, I just made a post about that on Facebook the other day. Actually,
Maybe.
Hi,
I can't bring
Nikki.
it up. Nikki, how's it going? Yeah, it was like it went along the lines of this. What if Earth is kind of like an undiscovered tribe in the Amazon, and everybody else knows we're there in the universe or the galaxy, but they don't want to mess with us until we figure it out. That kind of thing. You know what I mean? They don't want to visit us in case they, mess us up. But that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never know.
Steve from Curious Cryptid is if you were an alien, would you want to visit us?
That's what I was saying earlier. That same sentiment there.
Yeah.
No, we're not grown up enough. We can't even not be harmful to ourselves,
But we're so
Give
intelligent.
us the technology to be amongst them. Hey, being smart and being wise are two different things.
So if we but surely we could be taught,
Klingon lives matter.
If some alien civilization that were much more advanced than us did come in and intervene, maybe they could help us,
Maybe they are, just in a subtle, slow kind of way.
But I think the nuclear threat is like a day-to-day thing, and I don't know.
Well, that's when UFO sightings really, really kicked up, was about that.
When we discovered the atom and how to split the atom. But why don't they do something if they're that worried?
Maybe we're being slowly desensitized to this. Think about it. The War of the Worlds thing back in the 30s. They come over the radio show. People were freaking out. The world would have been totally upside down. People just went nuts. Nowadays, they landed here, people go, oh, yeah, I kind of figured that for the biggest part.
I don't know. I think that'd be a big deal, but
it'd be a big deal. But just like when the Pentagon finally went public on some of this stuff years ago, that would have been a bigger deal than it was. And it really
actually wasn't as big of a deal as I would have thought it would have been. You're right about that. Yeah,
well, that's because they don't report on it. They're too busy reporting on the insurrection in the Capitol and friggin' Biden and Saudi Arabia and all the rest of the crap that we're fed,
It's,
what?
It's
fed Saudi Arabia and Joe Biden and what?
Yeah. What we're fed every day is like the news and the COVID and all the rest of it. When really, what you're saying is that the alien thing that we witnessed should have been a bigger deal, but they kind of swept it under the rug.
Not too long ago, it would have. Imagine if in the 1950s that they had come out and said that.
Right.
You'd have had, and you still do now. There are within, especially the fundamentalist evangelical brand of Christianity, there's still ministers that say that the aliens are real, but they're demons. Because God only made us as the, only intelligent life, and everything else is demonic. And I think, well, that's small.
Yeah, sounds familiar in the Bigfoot
world.
Well,
yeah, you're from the south, down here in the south where we're at. We're so. And I have acquaintances that will argue with me till I'm blue in the face that if there are aliens, they are demons. They're not from another planet because God only made us as sentient beings like this.
Right.
I'm like, well, that's, to me, I
Well,
think that's just silly. But
that's all. I
yeah.
think that's based on belief and not evidence. You know,
And that's a good one too, Mr. Dickinson. Humankind has made more progress in 50 years than in 2,000 years after the invention of transistors.
Do you know that Cleopatra is closer to us than she was the pyramids?
building of the pyramids. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Right.
Yes, and T-Rex is closer to us than the Stegosaurus.
Stegosaurus, that's right.
And that's just crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That is something else there, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah,
time.
It is, but you know, like the evolution of the modern world, I take it for what it is. I see it for what it is. It was sort of like the second invention of the wheel or discovery of fire for humanity, but it in a obviously a much more impactful way. You know, the modern world got kicked off the way it got kicked off, you know, a couple 150 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
you know, like we went from, God, like, yeah, I mean, shit, horses to cars, right? Early 1900s, like that, and flight. How we can fly aircraft, early 1900s. It's pretty easy to trace that, but it is kind of weird that we were so stagnant for so long.
Look at the iPhone, dude.
I have
my
own,
of the big ones.
I have my own theories on that are based deeper in ideology and fundamental principles that were introduced to humanity. Much is what allowed those things to breathe and come forward. So if they would have figured it out on an intellectual and ideological level earlier in our lineage, you know, then we'd be even further down the road than we are now. That's just my personal take on it.
Well, and here's another Chris Kimball brought up. He said, I have a relative who says that dinosaurs are not real because the earth is only 6,000 years old. Chris, I know people like that as well. And and I'll quote this one person, and he's proud. He says, no, those dinosaur bones aren't real. Satan made those bones and planted them to confuse people so they wouldn't believe in God.
Wow.
I mean, to me, that's just,
all right.
There is a segment of us that are going backwards.
Yeah, dude. If you think the earth is 6,000 years old
and flat,
you're a freaking moron. I'm sorry. And I'm not making that personal. That's just a fact.
It's just a fact.
You don't have any intellectual capacity to learn and understand. You're gripping to something that is completely out of the realm of reality. The earth is not 6,000 years old. Dude, this is the kind of stuff I don't want to engage in. I don't want to deal with 6,000-year-old earthers. There's no point in there's no good discussion to be had with that kind of talk.
Exactly.
We might as well be talking about flat earth.
And the moon is made of cheese, as Fivehead said there, and the moon is made of cheese. Same, it's just as. But no, I had a guy one time, and I go fossil hunting around here. There's not any dinosaur bones you'll find because it's a lot older. This is Pennsylvanian strata. That's where I'm at from the not Mississippian, but Carboniferous era. So we'll find a lot of rugose coral and condylarthrids, such as that. But that stuff's immensely old. and we're closer to the dinosaurs than we are to that stuff.
Correct. Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's like you can't really, like, I had a guy come in, and I have a little cheesy telescope. I had a guy come in my store here a few months ago, and he was telling me about this telescope he saved up money for. Saved up like nearly $4,000, and it was a used one. And I thought, man, this guy knows what he's talking about. And then he spilled the beans that he bought that so it would help him prove to other people that the world is really flat.
Wow.
And I realized right then, I've just wasted 30 minutes of my life I can never get back.
Yeah. Yeah, those.
But I heard a minister that I know well, who is also an amateur paleontologist, said, I refuse to believe that God sat in the dark till 6,000 years ago and all of a sudden said, you know what? I think I'll make something today.
Yeah, man.
Wait, you're in Georgia though, right?
Yeah, I'm in Georgia. Yep.
Okay, is it Tennessee that's got the Ark encounter, that's got the dinosaurs on the Ark and all that stuff? Is that Tennessee or Kentucky?
Oh,
Kentucky. That's Kentucky.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where the Ark
They're
is.
Australians too. The people that doing that are Australians.
He's in prison now.
Are you serious?
Kent Hovind, yeah, he's in jail or something. I don't know what, for tax evasion or something. I don't know.
That's everything you need to know about dinosaurs on the Ark. This conversation is over.
Somebody was asking on one of the Bigfoot Facebook pages, was Bigfoot on the Ark?
Oh yeah, right.
I can't
Well,
deal with it.
I don't know. I don't see them.
I can't deal with it.
The meme joke is that I don't know. I don't see them.
Could you imagine trying to keep a T-Rex couple from eating everything else on all the floors?
They're so stupid. It's like, I don't even engage because it's just so stupid.
Well, you can't. You can't.
Yeah, well,
what is it they say? Never engage in an argument with an idiot. They will drag you down to their level and beat you.
But it's not even. It's not even worth analyzing. It's so stupid that.
Well, there's nothing to analyze.
Right. It's so stupid that it's like not even worth thinking about. It's like you just disregard and like don't even talk about it.
I agree. That was my whole point. You're gonna bring up, the Earth is 6,000 years old. I'm like, I'm not gonna engage. Like you're done. I'm done with you.
But right. Do you remember though when they first started challenging that? I mean, we have over the last few years just as a people realized how immensely old this is. That shortly after Darwin and stuff, some scientists were saying, we know the Earth is not 6,000 years old anymore. We know that it's hundreds of thousands of years old. And that was a big leap then. Now we know it's millions and millions and millions of years old.
Yeah.
But the first
leap, 5 billion?
3.5 billion years old.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense to me. I can totally see that. Like, as a person that was a high school dropout, I can totally see that. 3.5 billion. I can totally rationalize that.
But I have never personally felt the need to try to make the age of the world fit my religious belief. Because I go fossil hunting with a guy, Dr. Lyon, sometime, and he's a Lutheran, Christian man and stuff. But I said, what do you tell people that say that? He said, I just tell them that the Bible's not a book on paleontology. And leaves it at that. I'm like, that's a good point. It's not.
No, look, I mean, it's important to understand the reality that you live in. Period. Right?
Yep.
If you're driving down a highway at 65 miles an hour and you're surrounded by a bunch of other cars, it's important to understand the reality you live in, right? You know, like you have to take that for what it is. You can't use magical thinking to change reality and think that you're just going to magically pass through another car if you get in their lane. If you stand in front of a train,
level of physics.
if you stand in front of a train, reality will literally hit you in the face. So you could believe and believe and believe all you want. It doesn't shape reality. We aren't Jedis. I wish we were. I wish we lived in that world where we could do cool Jedi stuff, you know? But that's not the world we live in.
And that's where we're going to end it tonight, guys.
Yeah. As hard as you try, you will never move that remote control from the coffee table into your hand like a Jedi, no matter what.
So we're going to leave it with Pat wanting to be a Jedi.
Yep. We'll have a little chat after show.
Of the Kylo Ren type.
Screw Kylo.
Oh, yeah, I can see that.
Darth Vader's much cooler. I actually watched Solo last night. I wasn't really impressed. I'd rather have Rogue One. Rogue One was a good movie.
It was a great movie. It was a great movie. Yeah. I like Kylo, though. I thought Kylo was a very good sort of Vader replacement.
He was. Yeah, I like Kylo.
In the first
I have
movie
his mask right over there.
He just reminded me of a spoiled little kid. You should just take the batteries out of that cheesy looking lightsaber he had and slap him in the head and send him to his room.
Yep. Yeah,
that's kind of what happened. That's kind of what happened in the end.
Yeah, actually, that's
you're
exactly
right.
what happened.
Yeah,
he got his face slapped, and but anyway, we're going to end this show, and guys, thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, thanks for
having me on, man.
Yep, I'll talk to you guys all later.